Announcement coming shortly after President Trump visited the U.S. territory just yesterday.
And the president meeting with some storm victims, assessing the damages 2 weeks after the island was hit by Hurricane Maria. He also met with the federal first responders and some local officials. And during the visit, the president made a comment, well, a few comments that has a lot of people upset.
Now, I hate to tell you, Puerto Rico, but you've thrown our budget a little out of whack, because we've spent a lot of money on Puerto Rico, and that's fine. We've saved a lot of lives.
Mr. President, enough. Stop blaming Puerto Rico for the storm that devastated their shores. I don't remember the president telling Texas that they threw our budget out of whack.
The president acknowledging the deaths in Puerto Rico are horrific, but he said it was nothing like the catastrophe in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. Let's break in former Congressman Rick Keller with more on that. Rick, always good to see you. In the face of what the president saw in Puerto Rico, still holding to this idea that the administration's response has been nothing short of miraculous, in his words, and he's getting the highest grades for his response. Is the president out of touch with what it is that what is actually going on? He even said, you don't need flashlights. You don't need these flashlights anymore, even though most of the island still doesn't have any power.
I think most folks would probably give President Trump A's with respect to Florida and Texas. I think Puerto Rico is more challenging for a variety of reasons. First, we're looking at 95% of people without electricity. I mean, that's unprecedented. Second, there's only so much he can do in a short amount of time to fix things, and it's understandably frustrating for people who are living in those circumstances. Third, there's a heck of a lot of hostility toward him from some of the officials, like the mayor of San Juan. Other folks, such as the governor, think he's doing a good job. But yeah, I can understand the frustration of people if you're living in those circumstances. We thought it was rough going without power for a few days here, and so I can't even imagine how frustrating it is for them to hear that, or to hear complaints about the budget, or we caused the problem, or whatever. There's just a lot of frustration in the air there.
Well, certainly there's no disputing that it's more challenging than in Florida, because the infrastructure is not there, and then of course there's all that ocean water surrounding the island as well. But that being said, there are some logistical errors that seem to be happening. The stuff is there. It's in crates. There's water there. It's just not getting to the places that it needs to go. In fact, the president himself really went to one small area of the island and didn't get out to the areas that really have nothing at this point.
Well, yes. I mean, and the governor thinks he's doing as best he can, and the FEMA folks. But yeah, I mean, when you've got over half the population doesn't have water right now, it's incredibly challenging. And so I can understand the frustration. But also, there's no just red reset button that President Trump can push and everything is fixed. This is a challenging circumstance, and I think FEMA folks are trying to do the best they can do.
What do you think the president is going to be doing in Las Vegas? Certainly visiting with the people, but is he going too soon to Vegas when the people in Puerto Rico still are in their dire straits?
No, I don't think he's going too soon to the people of Vegas. You know, the famous Woody Allen phrase, 80% of life is showing up. And I think it's important for him to be there in person after such a tragedy. I don't think he's going to go there for a bunch of policy reasons. I think, number one, he's going to express tremendous sorrow to the victims and what happened. And also thanks to the first responders. But I don't think this is going to be a political visit. I don't think it's going to be a lot of policy and what we're going to do about the future. It's just to say, hey, I care. I'm here. I'm very sorry what happened, and we're all in this together.
No discussion on gun control is what you're saying?
I would imagine no discussion on gun control during this.
Okay. Rick Keller. Rick, always good to have you in here. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Let's check in with Jamie right now. And